My earliest life memories are of chaos and a lot of noise. You see, my parents never got along with each other. A lot of people wake up to the sound of alarms or some piano playing in their phones. But me, I used to wake up to my mother screaming at my dad. You never pay the bills on time. You care more about money than you care about the family. Imagine having a big red alarm, those fire alarms that apartment buildings have, right above your head, right above your bed. That's what it felt like when I used to wake up shocked and alarmed. My dad would also not be so nice. He would yell at me and my brother for the smallest things that you would imagine. Things like, why didn't you turn off the lights when you left the room? We just went out to get water. We were still studying. That's why we didn't turn off the lights. Most of the times, me and my brother, we felt really helpless because we could not stand up for ourselves. We did not know how to defend ourselves. The only escape I had was with my friends. I had one single routine every single day from my high school to my college days. I would come back home, I would drop my bag on the ground, I would grab the keys of my dad's scooter and go hang out with my friends. This was the only time I felt in control of my life. We would hang out on our scooters, laugh all evening, roast each other, make big plans for the future, and enjoy the New Delhi breeze on our faces. We were a bunch of rebels. I wore bracelets in my hand. I had a neck tattoo as well, neck bracelet as well. And I also had these gloves that had no fingers on them. If you know the WWE superstar, The Undertaker, he had the same gloves. I did like to feel like the Phenom. But as soon as I would get back home, the Phenom would be waken up to the reality that I had no control of my life. I would still get back to the reality of chaos and helplessness. A few days later, my college announced that we are all going to a hill station on a road trip. The city is called Shimla, it's in India. And we were all super excited because we would get to spend time with the whole group of friends with no parents, nobody to watch us, and we could do whatever. The next thing I remember, I was on a bus. We were singing, dancing, falling all over the place in the bus, but nobody got hurt and nobody really cared. As soon as we reached Shimla, the first thing we wanted to do was to explore the city. So I grabbed a girl who had a vibe going on at that time, and we went to explore the market. Since I was such a rebel at that time, I noticed a tattoo shop in the market, and I immediately wanted to get a tattoo that would make me look tough. I went in and I started browsing through the tattoo book of the tattoo artist. Most of the tattoos were very pink, childlike, unicornish, and I wasn't like that. I wanted a tough-looking tattoo. I noticed a wolf in that tattoo book, and the wolf had red eyes, and it had fumes coming out of its nose. And that's when I knew that I wanted to get that tattoo. I got the tattoo on my neck right here, and the tattoo artist promised me that it'll last a week, which worked out well for me because my family is very conservative and they would not like it if I had a permanent tattoo. I left the tattoo shop feeling very, very badass and tough because I had a wolf on my neck. But the next day, after I took a shower, the tattoo was mostly gone. I was furious. I realized I need to get my money back right now. This is not what I paid for. So I went right back to the tattoo shop with the same girl. And I asked the tattoo guy, dude, you told me that this tattoo will last a week, but it's only day 2, and the tattoo's almost all gone. What the hell, man? The dude just shrugged at me and he said, we never promised you that it'll last a week. The rebel in me got really mad. It's like, you better give me my money back right now. He looked at my female friend and he checked her out up and down. And he said, if you knew what was good for you, you would not stick around here for too long. I looked at her myself and I realized I am tough, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to put her safety at risk because of a tattoo. So I left the shop feeling defeated, but as I was leaving the shop, I called my really good friend Rohan, and I told him the whole situation. My friends were really tight back then, and he came to the shop within 2 minutes. He was also hanging out with his girlfriend at the time. This time, we both left the ladies outside the shop and we decided to go in. This time, we both ganged up on the tattoo artist almost. We're like, buddy, give us our money back or else, you know? And we tried to look really tough this time. But the tattoo artist just smiled at us. He's like, you are just a bunch of tourists, and I grew up in the city. I know at least 10 shopkeepers around here. So unless you guys want a beating, you take a hike. Me and Rohan looked at each other again, and we realized that he's right. We are just tourists, and this guy has a home field advantage in this city. So we returned again, feeling defeated the second time. But this time, while we were heading out of the shop, we noticed a potential customer for this guy coming in. I immediately started yelling at the guy, "This guy's a fraud! Get out of here, save your money!" And the potential customer, he heeded my advice, and he did not get a tattoo. But the tattoo artist also heard me screaming at the potential customer. So he almost started running after me, maybe trying to give me a beating, but me and Rohan were pretty quick. We ran out of the shop laughing and feeling victorious. Vengeance was really sweet. Jumping forward to a few years, I found myself sitting in the emergency room of QE2. I had developed a cold that was not going away. The cold had developed into a fever and some chills and night sweats, and I could not keep any food down. I was hoping the doctor will just tell me that it's just a cold, pop some pills and drink some hot water, drink some vitamin C, orange juice, and do all those things and it'll just go away. Instead, the doctor told me that you have a severe liver inflammation and we have to perform a surgery on you right now. I was a little shocked. I was still in my early 20s back then and I could not process that information. I was like, what do you mean? Can I call my parents? Because my parents take these decisions for me. I've never been to a major surgery alone, but it was 3 a.m. in India. I couldn't call them. He was like, nope, there's no time for that. We have to operate on you right now. Dude, it's pretty bad. I mean, he didn't say dude, but yeah, you didn't get it. So the next thing I know, I was lying in the operation theater, looking at those big operation theater lights, judging my life decisions. I immigrated to Canada to get away from my family, and I wanted to get control of my life, but was it worth it? I have to do my own laundry, I have to do my dishes, which I never did in my life. I'm working 4 part-time jobs, I'm an immigrant here, I have no friends, and who knows, I might just die tonight. Was it all worth it? While I was debating all this, I saw the oxygen mask come on my face, and everything went black. A few hours later, I woke up in one of the operation theater rooms post-op, but everything was not the same. I noticed there was a tube sticking out of my liver. The tube was practically stapled to my liver. And every time I moved or even a little bit, it would hurt like hell. So imagine going to the washroom with a tube sticking out of your liver. I would be having mini screams in my head. Those mini screams turned into a major scream when they removed the tube. Just for reference, I also am a rock climber, and once I fell from the wall on my leg, and I almost broke my leg, but the pain I felt from the removal of the tube was way worse than when I almost broke my leg. I straight up was screaming for 5 minutes. After they removed the tube, I was still in pretty much shock. This all happened so quickly, I could not process all this. It's like, what is going on with my life? What did I sign up for coming to Canada? While I was processing all this, I saw my hospital door room open, and my mother was walking in. She had taken a flight from India to help me recover. When I saw her, my mind went back to my childhood again, the very thing I was trying to escape. However, this time I did not feel helpless. Now, I was a full-time rebel with a tattoo that will last me a lifetime.